Hello, I am Pam Fox at pamfox.org, and in today's video I'm going to be continuing what I've been sharing all week, which is how to create more balance in your life. So the first exercise I did was an exercise about time budgeting, and then the second one I did was the pleasure exercise. So I hope some of you guys tried out these exercises, particularly the pleasure exercise. Really an enjoyable exercise to sit down and do, just to help you kind of get to know yourself better and what it is that brings you pleasure in your life. Excuse me. And the pleasure exercise, it's not meant to be, I think, what do I want to say? I want to encourage you to understand that an exercise such as this is meant, like I just said, to help you get to know yourself better and what it is that makes you tick, what makes you unique, because each of us is unique, right? We are all individuals. And we can lose sight of that. We can very easily lose sight of that. And so you'll hear a lot of criticism when you begin to create more balance in your life, when you begin to focus on yourself, when you begin to do self-development. People will say you're being selfish. People will say that you are entitled. People will say that you don't care about others, you just care about yourself. And that simply doesn't have to be true, right? So we can care about others while caring for ourselves. And in fact, we are going to be more equipped to care for others if and when we care for ourselves, if and when we are performing optimally at our best, right? So it starts here, and it starts here, and it starts here. Our mindset. What is your mindset? And so this is just an exercise to help you get to know who you are and get to know where your passions lie. Okay, so just a little recap. I shared a few things from my personal pleasure exercise last week. Oh, and I just wanted to share this. I got a whole pile of these, and I know it's backwards, but this is just a little tea towel. Isn't that cute? This is all embroidered, and it says, "Life is beautiful, enjoy the ride." And I have a whole box of these because I saw them in a store and I had to have them all. So life is beautiful, but if you're not enjoying the ride, it's not so beautiful. So figuring out how to love your life where you are at while you are creating the life of your dreams. That's what I'm talking about this week. So this is mine, and you'll see that I've got a lot of stuff on here. This is my, the things that bring me pleasure. Kissing fat babies, okay? Not everybody loves babies. I love kissing fat babies. Lying on the beach. I did that yesterday. Not everybody loves to lie on the beach. I do. I love to lie on the beach. I love to feel the heat of the sunlight and the cool, gentle breeze. Going camping in a camper. Now, I haven't been camping in quite some time. I'm going to be going with my family next week, so I'm really looking forward to that. I used to do a lot of camping. So the fall. I love the fall. So these are things that are unique to me, things that bring me pleasure. And so when you're intentional about incorporating in some of the things that bring you pleasure every single day, that's just one way for you to begin to really be thankful for and love the life that you're living. Hi, Susan Markham from Indiana. Hello, welcome. So that's just a little recap from the last exercise that we did, and I would encourage you, if you haven't done this pleasure exercise, to do it, or go back and watch that video if you're going, what the heck is she talking about? Okay, so today's exercise is actually an exercise called the Circle of Life. And if anyone is watching that went to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, you recognize that because it's very foundational to the curriculum there. We revisit this Circle of Life many times throughout the year, and this is what it looks like. And I will link this in the box below when I'm done here, so you can take a closer look at it if you'd like to. But basically, I know everything's backwards because I'm streaming live, but this is a circle divided up into 12 categories. And the categories are things like joy, spirituality, creativity, finances, career, education, health, physical activity, home cooking, and home environment, relationships, and social life. And so this exercise is similar to the exercise the first exercise we did, time management. It's really just another way of looking at the balance in your life and seeing clearly where there's some imbalances, where maybe you need to focus your attention if you're trying to create more balance. And speaking of balance, I was watching an episode of The Good Wife the other night. I don't know how many of you guys know. It's a show about a prestigious law firm in Chicago, and one of the partners was complaining because this young generation doesn't know how to work hard. They're not scrappy. They don't know how to sacrifice, and they're not hard workers. And she was saying how all they want to do is create balance and happiness in their life. Rose Angela. Oh, love that name. Rose Angela. Hello from Manchester. Cool. Welcome, Rose Angela. But yeah, she was joking that the young generation, they're so preoccupied with creating balance and happiness in their lives. And I get what she was saying. This is just a fictitious television program, but the point is that she'd come from a generation where you had to really work hard in a law firm to become partner and work your way to the top. A lot of long hours, a lot of sacrifices. And here was this younger generation say, no thanks, I'll do the work, but I'm also going to create time. This young woman was offered this mentorship, and she wanted to create time for her boyfriend and for her family. And to that I say bravo. I believe you can still work hard and still have balance in your life. And to me, it's really important. This was, and that's why I'm doing this week. That's why I'm taking time away from talking about nutrition and digestion to talk about balance, because this was such a game changer for me. This was life-changing, discovering the obvious. What I really already knew, and what most of you already know, is that there's probably an imbalance in your life where you need to work, you need to pay more attention, you need to nurture certain areas of your life in order to have that holistic healing take place in your life, okay? In order to really experience deeper joy and satisfaction in your life. And for me, these exercises were such an eye-opener, because they just really, like I said, pointed out what I already knew, and that is that I really needed to take some action steps to up my game, to elevate myself, or to go deeper. And so if you take a look at this circle of life, you'll see, for example, hi Yassine from Egypt, welcome. You'll see, for example, spirituality is one of the categories on here. So when you do this test, you just go through and you grade yourself in the different categories by marking a spot on the line. So if you're in here towards the middle, that means maybe you really need to focus more attention. If you're out here towards the line, that means you're doing pretty well. And then what you end up with is kind of a strange, you'll connect all those dots and you'll have something like this. And it's just a way for you, again, to clarify and see more clearly where the imbalances are in your life. So spirituality, for example, this is an area in my life that's really important to me. My faith is very important to me. And so I scored myself pretty high on that one. My social life, on the other hand, was completely nil. Like, I had no social life, no priority as far as social life. I never got together with friends in the evening or anything like that. So that one I scored a 0 on. So now, we talked about this a couple of days ago. Just because you have an imbalance doesn't mean you have to panic and say, oh, I need to dedicate a lot more time to this area that I'm scoring a 0 on. And this is a prime example, because for me, the reason I had no social life is because I really had no craving or desire for a social life, because I had so much social stimulus from my full-time job. Okay, so you kind of have to take a look at these things and mull them over and question whether or not it's something, there really is an imbalance there or not. So another category is your home environment. So a lot of us fail to realize that the quality of your home environment can really predict the quality of your life. So if you have a chaotic, messy home environment, if your home environment is a hot mess, then you may be a hot mess as well. So by learning how to simplify, learning how to organize, learning how to clean, which is something I've had to struggle with most of my life, creating a, you don't have to live in a mansion and have a luxurious home in order to have peace in your home, in order to have cleanliness in your home, in order to have organization in your home. And once you create those things, it will start to spill over into the other areas of your life. Okay? Home cooking is another one. I used to do home cooking maybe 2 or 3 days a week, 2 or 3 meals a week. Now I cook every single day. I cook every single day, just about, unless I'm on vacation. I do like to eat out in an occasional restaurant, but for the most part, I would say 90 to 95% of my meals are home cooked. And this can make a huge impact in your health. You begin to cook your own meals, especially if you're cooking with a lot of whole plant foods, herbs and spices, and that kind of a thing. And then education. So I think a lot of us, we get out of college and we think, that is kind of behind us and we don't need any more schooling and we don't need any more education. And that is something personally that I discovered was very common among a lot of people. They stop educating themselves, myself included. And so instead, imagine if we continue to educate ourselves all throughout our lives. There's a little saying that goes, the more you learn, the more you earn. And so, if you're not happy with your career, or if you're not happy with where you're at with your life's work, what are you doing to learn more? So if you want to elevate into upper management, are you reading about upper management? Are you taking webinars or master classes about upper management? If you want to start your own business, are you taking those steps to educate yourself in the things that you need to learn about business? There's lots to learn. And there's 1,000 million books out there to read. And there's all kinds of information on the internet. So we need to be learning. We need to be continuing to educate ourselves constantly. And not only will this help to promote you, regardless of what you're learning, you might be learning about relationships, you might be learning about God, you might be learning about a hobby or a career. But regardless what you're learning, that's going to continue to elevate you. It's going to continue to make you, expand you, and make you better. Okay? So I would challenge you to try this this exercise, Circle of Life, and again, I'll post the exercise, this diagram in the description below so you can check it out. And just take a close look at it and analyze, where you're at right now, today in your life. And don't be scared and think, my life's a mess, I'll never be able to pull it together, there's just too much to do. Because like I said in my last live, where you're at right now today, it took you a lifetime to get here. And so you're just going to start showing up every day and taking those steps towards the life of your dreams. And it's going to take you time to get there as well. But if you can incorporate, again, going back to the pleasure exercise, if you can incorporate daily at least one thing that brings you pleasure, then you're going to begin to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, and you're going to begin to love the life that you live while you create the life of your dreams. Okay? So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys are into this, if you're into self-development, if you're into creating balance and happiness in your life, I've got more to come, so be sure to follow me, hit the follow button, and then you'll be notified when I go live. All right, thank you so much for watching.